And so that brings us to our main event. Stephen Thompson getting it done over Geoff Neal via unanimous decision. And had a lot of trouble with that word, my diction. Unanimous decision. Where Geoff Neal was really never in it.
No. Wonderboy did a full Wonderboy. Just shut him down. Geoff Neal couldn't get anything going for 5 rounds, and that was just what it was.
Can
Uh,
we can we dub Thompson Karate Fitch?
I'm down with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Stephen Karate Fitch Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest thing is, so we had Wonderboy had his 2 fights against Woodley. Both of those went south, and so at that point it looked like, okay, he's in a bad situation because he's blocked out of the title picture, right? So some time goes by. Woodley no longer champion. Woodley also no longer even relevant at the top of the division. Wonderboy, okay, so since he was locked out, he beat Masvidal, super hot right now, and then they were like, all right, let's have you fight some, up and coming guys like Darren Till lost. The Pettis fight was just wild, and then they're like, all right, these young up and coming cats like a Till, like a Vincent Luque, a Geoff Neal, and so the whole time you got Wonderboy sitting at like number 5, having to defend his number 5 spot against like number 13, number 11, and he's done that now. And you look ahead of him, the whole top of the welterweight division is completely different from what it was when he was kicked out of it. He has all kinds of fresh matchups up there against Usman or against Colby. He mentioned the rematch with Masvidal, who he beat fairly easily just 3 years ago. I want him to fight up next. I'm done. I'm done with him fighting down. People are talking about like, oh, let's have him fight like Michael Chiesa. No, we're over that. I want him fighting up. I want him fighting a guy ranked above him next, preferably. Yeah, I want Wonderboy moving back toward, because those are fun stylistic matchups to me. Everyone up there is a wrestler, like Wonderboy versus Usman or Wonderboy versus Colby. Those are interesting fights to me. Like he may get grappled, wrestled to death, but we don't know that. He may also like just piece them up from the outside, and they may not know how to deal with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where, and you see it with the dudes who have beaten Wonderboy. Beating Wonderboy doesn't mean you've necessarily hit, like Wonderboy's skill set is so unique that what it takes to beat Wonderboy may not even necessarily be what generally makes the best mixed martial artist.
Yeah, it probably isn't.
No, and the best mixed martial artist may not necessarily beat Wonderboy. And so I get where you're coming from, and I totally agree. I would love to see him get a fight against a guy, maybe in his next fight being a number 1 contender. Assuming, did you see any have they released any details as to what was up with his knee?
Not that I've seen, no.
That looked nasty, man.
Yeah,
that looked not good. It was a well placed leg kick by Neal, and then it immediately swelled up.
He was out for a full year from the injuries he got in the Vincent Luque fight. He got banged up in that one bad too. He's been getting injured quite a bit lately. I mean, he took a bad knockout in that Pettis fight too.
Well, I mean, he's 37.
Yeah, he's gonna be 38 in February.
Well, and he's been fighting since he was a teenager.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, there's some miles on him, and I really would like to see him given some opportunities, because I don't think we're going to get to have him for too much longer.
Yeah.
And I totally agree, because you could see those fights against a Covington or an Usman going those ways, like getting ground down. and just wrestled to death. But that, like,
Hey, Woodley had a real hard time getting
yeah,
close to him.
that's what I was gonna say is that Woodley couldn't really do that consistently. Woodley won those fights with moments. He was able to
And with
parse out.
inactivity.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He was able to steal some moments and then nullify the rest.
Hmm.
And that's how he won. And I think that if you're trying to beat him, and that's what Till did as well. So if you are trying to beat a Wonder Boy, beating him in the traditional sense almost is not uh, it's not a good strategy. I mean, you need to steal moments off of Wonder Boy over the course of the distance. And yeah, he's a talent that is so unique, and I'll just reiterate it again. We're probably not going to have him for too much longer. Win, lose, or draw. I mean, he could keep winning these forever, but when you've been doing martial arts and competing in martial arts since you were a teen and you're almost 40, the body doesn't hold up forever. And I would love to see him get some opportunities before we got to see him go.
Yeah.